Hello and welcome to the Grad Dialogue. Today, my guest is Amanda Owen. Amanda Kate Owen has been on the Grad Dialogue in the past, and I know those of you may not know, she's the executive director of the Puzzle Pieces. Puzzle Pieces is the building right on Frederick Street that used to be the Boys and Girls Club years ago. It's a facility that provides daily special opportunities for individuals with special needs. Amanda and I have worked in the past to the Grad, to the Rotary Club, and also through some of the community service. It's one of the, I consider to be a, probably the unknown jewel in our community that takes care of the special needs children that, that we are so fortunate. So Amanda, again, welcome on the Grad Dialogue.
Thanks for having me.
We talked about your Puzzle Pieces project, what the Grad can do with, helping those. And in fact, about a couple of times in the past, we have brought in your counterparts from Czech Republic to come on and look at the facility.
Yes.
So we are so proud. Those of you who may not know Amanda, she's an executive director. She has a master's degree in education, K through 12. Her past employment includes multiple disabilities teacher at the Burns Middle School, and then in 2012, you had a vision to start the Puzzle Pieces.
Yes.
I love the name Puzzle Pieces. I love your T-shirts, by the way. So anyway,
Awesome.
So I know that we talked about this, and in fact, Puzzle Pieces has in the past won the big prestigious award to get $100,000, from the
Impact 100.
Impact 100 or so. That's you should really honor, because not only that you're doing good work, but that work being recognized for the whole community and people who put the money on the table to make sure that you prosper and be successful. So again, welcome on the Grad Dialogue. I would say for people who may not know, in a brief introduction, can you tell us what the Puzzle Pieces does, and maybe some of the demographics of the clients that you have at the present time?
We are a 501c3, and we were, like you said, we opened September 12th of 2000, or September 4th, 2012. And we service individuals, the youngest is 8 years of age, and the oldest, we just say adult life, but our oldest is, I think he's 62. And they have to have an intellectual disabilities. So therefore, our primary disability that we serve is autism. And I have a master's degree background in autism, so that's kind of my passion. So I'd say 67% of our clientele does have autism, but Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, multiple disabilities. We do serve a couple that have traumatic brain injuries. And so the purpose of our mission is building relationships and having that central community hub. So we're just fortunate enough to be in the heart of Owensboro, right on Frederick Street. And the goal there is to build those relationships and get them out into the community doing things, whether they're favorites to go out to eat. But anything that you do, like just yesterday when it was storming, they had a karaoke party. So anything that builds friendships and relationships, it's their place that's kind of like not home, that they're getting that sense of involvement and being included.
So how many children and adult participants you have right now?
Well, it's hard to believe. 4.5 years ago, we started off with 32 clients. And today we've opened a second site. So in combination, we serve 127 individuals.
All in Owensboro?
Well, both of our sites are in Owensboro, but we serve our furthest that drives is from Muhlenberg County. We serve several from Hancock County, Ohio County, Henderson, McLean County. We serve all the serving area.
That shows that that the autism and autistic children, now I think it's coming in the mainstream, but at the same time there are facilities available. Now, beside the Puzzle Pieces, are there any similar organizations or even agencies in our 7-county region?
There are definitely other providers that are out there that provide services like Michelle P. Waiver and SCL. A lot of those, what I would say that what we're unique about in comparison is we do offer those services. We offer private pay as well, but we're a one-to-one correspondence. So we're one-on-one in a community hub where there's a group. Basically, it's our hub, and we go out from that hub. But each of them have their own one-on-one support. Whereas other providers providing the same similar service, it is one-on-one, but they're not necessarily meeting in a group setting and then going out into the community.
So they are more or less
coming into their home.
In their home. And I believe the grad does the consumer director option, Michelle, and everything else. So they're going in their home and then provide the services.
Right, or maybe pick them up and take them into the community on a one-to-one.
The facility that you have in Puzzle Pieces in both locations, those are the daily, it's not an overnight stay.
Correct. We're open from 7:30 to 5:30. And the goal behind that was a parent's working hours, and just being able to support a family and having that supervision. I think sometimes there's a disconnect, and that's why we start at age 8. As an individual with special needs gets older, there's not a lot of extracurricular activities after school and things that they can be involved in. So that was the goal behind that, while their families are still working.
Besides services that you provide, and you have excellent staff and volunteers and everything else, how do you get the mainstream have more understanding and compassion and reality of autistic citizens?
Right. I think that's my ultimate passion. I have a brother with special needs, and so my whole life I feel like all I've done is try to create this sense of awareness and acceptance, especially whenever you might look at someone and you really don't know that they have a disability. And I think that there's a hidden disability there, and we're not always familiar with that. We're very familiar with someone that might be physically impaired and cognitively impaired, and we can see that they're nonverbal, maybe in a wheelchair. But we're serving a lot of individuals who are sometimes even mainstreamed in a high school classroom, but they might not just have the social skills needed. Or they just need extra supports with daily living and independent skills. So, my involvement in how I do that is a lot through me going into doing things just like this, or going into businesses and educating that way. But primarily my staff is amazing, and so every time we go out every day. So whether that's they're on the city bus, or whether that's they're at O'Charlie's, or they're going into the bank, or they're going to get their hair cut, our staff is showing them what that interaction should look like, that they are just like you and I, and, to carry on that conversation and, notice them for what they can do and not what they can't do.
And I think, by having, competing for the Impact 100, and I know the whole process because I know as a chairman of the Owensboro Symphony, we did that competing too. So you got to go the different steps. So at least you are getting more and more people get aware about what you guys offer, and the need itself. But I think that's something that not just Puzzle Pieces themselves, our community as a whole. When even agencies like GRAD and other agencies, have their obligation, to provide that awareness, and even then help the agencies who do provide the service and help them out to make sure continue the service. I want to talk about that as far as how can we continue the service bigger and expand and everything else. And just like Puzzle Pieces, there are so many other non-profits or 501c3 agencies providing human services and other things. Now, you have an event that is coming up in March.
We do.
That's going to raise funds for the nonprofits. So can you talk about that?
It is called the Color Blast 5K. I'm very proud to say that this will be our 5th year, and we are considered the largest 5K in Owensboro.
Wow.
Along with that, I think we're the 4th largest event to be held in Owensboro, in comparison to the Big O Music Fest and things like that. And what a great day. It's about celebrating all disabilities. March is Disability Awareness Month, and so that's why we've always highlighted the 5K being in that. And basically, it is supporting 5 local nonprofits that support individuals with special needs. And those are Puzzle Pieces, Wendell Foster Center, Dream Riders of Kentucky, Team Carly, and GRADSA. And all of the proceeds that we raise from the Color Blast gets divided amongst those organizations. And then we also donate 15% back to Crusade for Children out of Louisville, Kentucky. It's a foundation that we receive grants from. We personally receive a grant from them, and that's in Louisville. And that day, it's coming up March the 18th at 8 a.m. and registration's going on now. But that day is just about bringing all of your family and your friends and really just celebrating life as a whole and accepting one another for who they are. And doing that by throwing color and running or walking.
I know this is not the first year. This has been what?
Right. This is our fifth year.
So can you kind of walk through people who may not have participated in that event, maybe where it happens and how
Absolutely.
the whole thing goes?
We start at Moreland Park at 8 a.m. It's on a Saturday. And I really think with the way the weather's going for us, I think we're going to be on track for great weather. But this year we are adding a new element, and it's called foam. So we're going to have a foam finish. So at each mile marker, we'll get everybody together. Our first year we had 4,223 people.
To go through the march.
To go through, yes, the 5K event. We're
4,000?
423, yeah. Isn't
Wow.
that crazy?
It is, yeah.
We're really proud. I mean, we have thousands of people. And so to see everybody in white, the concept is to wear white and to see that sea of white. And we're so fortunate to have Independence Bank and so many great sponsors. And along the route, they get blasted with this color powder. And then at the end of their event, now this year they're going to be going through foam. And they're just colorful when they come through. It's just a fun, exciting, a lot of people come together with teams, and we have trophies, and we award those for the top three.
How does the money being raised beside, I guess, registration fee to
Yes,
participate?
it does cost to participate. Students are $15, and early registration that will run through until March the 3rd is $25, and then late registration is $35.
I see. So you got to pay to go through to get
yeah.
the color thrown on you,
And you get an amazing shirt that has all the sponsors on the back, and then it's a cool design on the front that
Kind of reminds me of my early days in India when we had the Holi celebration, we call it, which is nothing but the day of, throwing colors and paint and everything on each other, and water paint. But again, it was fun and everything. But this one, you turn the fun into a great event to raise funds and help out this 5 human services organization. How much funds were raised in the past?
We are very, very blessed to know that I think last year we raised $64,000.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yeah, it's an amazing event. I'm just so humbled to live in such a great community that will recognize a good time for sure, but two, will come together for a great cause. There's so many amazing nonprofits in Owensboro, and just to know that, they'll come together and divide and support everybody is really important for me.
That's amazing, having 4,400 people coming in. So your challenge goal is probably 5,000?
Yes, if I could hit 5,000, I'll be doing something.
So I mean, the 5,000 people coming in and going through that 5K, that's a good opportunity to have some booth and more awareness about each agency and everything else. Do you have some sort of booth or something? So yes,
like people can reach out. We do ask for volunteers, but people can reach out. We do have a booths that go around Moreland Park and do that. So we're just now participating in the Smiles for Life through Thompson and Fry Dentistry, and so that's going to be there. So there's just a lot of things that are going on.
Yeah, that's so it's a great cause and great fun, and also help out everybody. That's great. I want to wish you best of luck, and I will take part this time as well. To see how much how the foam feels.
Yeah.
And I think 5,000. That's probably more than some of the event we have at the convention center. So I think that's a great event. Thank you for that, and good luck to you and your team for that. And that's again coming up on March 18th at the Moreland Park, starting at
8 a.m.
And people can register
from now. Yeah, they can visit colorblast5k.com. .org. Sorry.
.org. Okay.
Yes.
All righty. Again, we've been talking to Amanda about the puzzle pieces. Along with that, the Color Blast coming up on March 18th. I think it's a great event for the community to support the great agencies like Puzzle Pieces, so you can participate. If you want more information, you can go on the website colorblast5k.org. And if not, you can always call me at the grad office. Thank you very much and have a great day.
Come on, man.
Just do it quick. No one's watching. You have to if you want to hang with us.
Do the right thing. Pass it on.
Good job.
A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Hello and welcome to the Grad Dialogue. Today I have invited Joe Berry, to talk about the new initiative that I'm working on. It's the Bucks for the Brain. For those of you who may not know, and I'm sure everybody knows Joe. Joe has been, actually I take a lot of pride because Joe started his career with Grad, and we are so honored that he left us and really doing a great job in Owensboro downtown along with the Go EDC. So he is the project manager of Go EDC since 2011. And also he's an executive vice president of the entrepreneurship. Joe assists all the startup and the high-tech businesses in traditional and all the small business on the strategic planning, any capitalization or any kind of product development, anything that could become a successful venture in our community. However, we're going to talk today about the Bucks for Brain. And I think that's the Bucks for Bright Ideas.
Bright Ideas, yes.
Bucks for Brain correct. Used to be in a...
Yeah, they have the Bucks for Brains. That's I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right. We're going to talk about the Bucks for Bright Ideas, and I think, and also why it is so important these days in time, and then and tying that with the emerging venture center of the innovation that we have in Owensboro, which is kind of serving all 7 counties of Grad, and also that is under Joe's leadership there too. So again, Joe, welcome. And
thank you. Glad to be here.
Let's just go ahead and talk about what is the Bucks for Bright Ideas, and it's a kind of competition.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, Bucks for Bright Ideas is a program. It's in its, I believe, 5th year that our office has been a part of this, and sponsored along with our friends down in Bowling Green and over in E-Town. And the purpose of it is to find those budding entrepreneurs in the community. So often there are people that are everyday folks working in their business, or people who are retired, or students that are going to school full time that have wonderful ideas for businesses, for products, for services, inventions that they might come up with on their own. And many of those have the potential to be a great business, to be viable in the marketplace, and we want to find those folks. So that's the purpose behind the competition, is to find those ideas out there that we can help them through the competition, not only identify with service providers that can help them, but also that they can become clients of our office, and that we can help them grow their business and create jobs right here in Owensboro.
It's kind of like a harvesting, some of the great ideas and everything else. See, even though it's a competition, but is the laundry list of the potential ideas that comes
That's right.
in,
I mean, it's great. Okay. It's great. It's a great competition, and of course that's healthy and always fun. And we've got lots of great service providers. So anywhere from attorneys who have donated their time to people who work in web development, people who know how to do computer-aided drafting. So all those folks have donated their time as the prizes for this project. So not only do they have a prize at the end of the line, but no matter whether they're a winner in the contest or not, we want to work with everybody, because every idea has value in some capacity. So we can help them really chart the path of where they want to go.
So Joe, let's talk about how people can enter, and also there is no requirement of eligibility, just the brain.
That's right. There's no, you don't have to be, you don't have to have an LLC form. You don't have to have, a lot of the bells and whistles done. It's just simply a good idea. So all it takes is for you to be a resident of one of our counties, which for me is the 7 Grad counties plus Hopkins, Muhlenberg, and Crittenden County, and then also my friends down in Bowling Green and E-Town. So pretty wide swath of territory is eligible. And so all you have to do is go online. We've made it very simple. The competition's already open. It's bucksforbrightideas.com. All they have to do is, it's a simple 5-question survey, really, just describing the idea, talking about what are the barriers to entry, so what do they need to make the idea a reality, and what they see is the market potential for it, who the competition might be, what else on the market is similar to that. The questions that we like to ask when we're working with a budding business in the region as to their potential. So a lot of it is just is some soul searching on their part of where they want the idea to go. So we take those applications. A panel of judges looks it over,
I see.
and then we invite all the people who enter the competition to join us for a banquet, and we announce the winners. Absolutely.
So even the idea is not selected in competition just from those 5 questions, or they said any beyond
the
interviews
5
or
questions,
anything
and
like
the
that?
judges evaluate what they consider to be the
okay.
true market potential of the idea. But
Yeah.
how they answer those questions really helps us
Right.
determine what the best idea is. So it does. I mean, a little bit of tender love and care to the application always helps. But
What happens, I mean, and I'm sure you've been through that too, and I go through all the time too, that, I had an idea, next find out somebody already doing those things.
That's
you know?
right.
So, but if somebody's gonna put an idea and kind of worried about it, if I put an idea and somebody else sees that.
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
Well, what we try to do, and I think it's worked very well for this competition, is we keep all the ideas in the strictest confidence.
see.
So it's kind of an interesting thing because we do this idea solicitation, and all these people come out of the woodwork, and when we announce the winners, we say, we can announce who the winner is, but sorry folks, we can't tell you
what the
about the
idea is.
idea because there's a lot of intellectual
Right,
property
right,
implications. So
right.
a lot of that is what we do as far as our next steps with them, and that is working with the company or the individual after the competition's over to say, okay, what kind of competition's out there? How secure is the idea? Is it something that is necessary? What are the different intellectual property avenues you can go down? Because in some cases it makes more sense to trademark it. In some cases it makes more sense to go after a full-fledged patent. And all those have different capital requirements, different regulatory requirements. So again, those are all questions we can answer, but we can only answer after we have a chance to develop a relationship with these folks.
Now, how do you connect? Let's say that you got a laundry list of ideas, and in fact, this being a 5th or 6th year, so that means you already had past winners as well. Now, how do you tie those to the potential venture capitalists? Because
that's right.
Everything takes money somewhere.
Absolutely. Well, that's where we come in. Ultimately, is there's a litany of service providers in this region, from our office at the Kentucky Innovation Network to our friends at the Small Business Development Center, to the folks at Community Ventures, to the team at Grad, who has a litany of resources as well. There's a lot of different folks in the community that can help small businesses, and we can all help them in different ways. So if it is an idea that has the potential for scalability, to be able to grow into a business, then we can try to find the right capitalization strategy for that company. In some cases it might be, okay, let's line up as many investors as we can who will take equity in that idea, really take it to market and have a big exit somewhere down the line. Other times it's going, okay, let's find the most creative traditional financing strategy, which might mean going through your all's RLF program along with the community bank. So it depends on the business. It depends on really where the entrepreneur wants to take it, because in some cases they may not want to go into a project like that full time. Many times they may not want to take a company public someday. So it really is it varies from person to person and business to business, which is why I think it's so important that we have these service providers that can really work deliberatively with these companies and these individuals to find out what they want, and then we figure out how to get them there.
So it's also possible that even though your idea may not win the competition, however, that could become a reality, because now I think there are other people who know there's potential they would like to help you out.
Absolutely. We have had successful people, particularly because now the competition's in its 5th year. So we get a lot of great applicants from around the region, and not everybody's a winner, but that doesn't mean that all the ideas are bad, that they don't win. That means we can, that all of them have, every idea deserves the opportunity to be heard and the opportunity for us to talk with those individuals. And many times it's looking at the reality of what the barriers to entry might be, and that's okay.
If you could comment, Joe, this being it's a 6th year, 5th year. So as a previous winners on this whole competition, have they been successful in creating businesses or products?
Well, of course we've had a lot, and we've really run the gamut in many cases, as it happens with all clients that walk through our door. We've had some that have pursued the idea and are now going to market. Some more quickly than others. We've had others that are pursuing the idea part-time, as a side project, and we've had others that have abandoned the idea for one reason or another. And that is really, that tends to happen frequently. When you're working in entrepreneurship, you see a wide spectrum of things. But we have seen some take their idea, run with it, and many times through the work that and the connections that they've been able to make through working with us. So that's what the most important thing is to me, is how do we identify the services out there that can help these folks and get them in touch with them, and then they can decide where they want the business to go on their own.
So go on, again, talk about the website, is the bucksforbrightideas.com?
Absolutely. Bucksforbrightideas.com. They can check it out. Again, there's a simple application. It's a few questions.
No entry fee or anything
No
like
entry
that?
fee. It's absolutely free. And we're certainly, it's kind of like you all see in the world of grant administration at Grad. Many times people are afraid to talk to the people that administer a particular program. We're the same. We want everybody to call us if they have questions. If they want to discuss the competition before, they're more than happy to give me a call. We're at 270-926-4339. So, and that's also all that contact information is on the Bucks
What's
website.
the deadline for this whole
It's
project?
actually April 16th, which is Easter Sunday. So they've got a little bit of time. And so after that, the judges will take a look at everything, and then we'll have a banquet in early May where we announce the winners.
Now, you also mentioned that this is applicants could come from 7 counties in Grad, along with some the E-Town and other places. How are you marketing this whole initiative in other counties?
That's great. Well, that's a really good question. We do very aggressive marketing efforts, and of course, there's multiple creative ways you can market nowadays with social media. So we're certainly pushing on all those fronts. But we're on the radio quite a bit. That we've found that is a really effective way for us to get the word out. Is to do commercials on the radio and to talk with folks like yourself and other people in the region that are interfacing with creative individuals pretty regularly. That's been a good strategy for us. So we're going to continue to do that, and but there's no effort that we won't take on in many cases. So if there's anyone that thinks that they could benefit from us promoting the program in any way, we're happy to do that. We're excited about it. It's one of the better client development tools that we have in our arsenal, I think.
No, it's just that it's not just the winning. It's not the only thing. It's just that somebody who has been on their mind, I got to do this. Now, this is my great idea. Now there is avenue for him or her to come back and put it on the paper and have somebody, kind of.
And it's amazing where they all come from. I mean, you'll find. We've had retired doctors and have created products that, things they saw in their practice that they knew were deficient or something that they felt that they could take advantage of once they retired. I've had others that are university professors that are commercializing some research that they're doing.
And it could be somebody in the garage,
In many cases it is, and also agriculture. That's one where we see quite a bit of applicants from, because again, those guys and gals are out there every day having to invent and create and innovate, and so there's a lot of it's really an idea factory out there. So it's just the onus now is on us to go out there and find them.
And the last minute that I have, I would like to just ask you about how does it tie to the statewide? I know there has to be there had in the past an idea convention or conference in Louisville.
Kentucky
Science.
It's certainly, our office is one of 12 around the state, and we each have a lot of autonomy in our region as to how we create a culture of entrepreneurship and innovation. But it does tie into some programs that the state does. I mean, the state does an idea festival, which is a great opportunity for not only folks that we work with, but people from all over the state to hear from great speakers and individuals. We're actually having an idea festival here in April in conjunction with the KED conference. So we're always looking for ways to create that culture. I mean, that ultimately is what it's all about. The dividends are paid long term, but we think that by starting at a young age and teaching people that you can pursue ideas and you can take them to market and make money. That's a great thing for a community, and that feeds into our overall economic development strategy.
Joe, I want to thank you for being on the show, but also at the same time, wish you best of luck, and hopefully people listening to this segment, kind of talk about things. Man, I had an idea in my mind nagging me so many years. Maybe the good time to maybe take time to go on the Bucks for Bright Ideas bucksforbrightideas.com.
That's right.
And put an application, and hopefully, somebody can look at your ideas, and make it reality or something.
I certainly hope so. Thank you, Jiten, for
Well,
having
thank
me.
you.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, we've been talking to Joe Barry regarding Bucks for Bright Ideas. Great way to get your ideas on the paper and also see, get some help and make it reality. And I think something to be great for the community and also for the region. Again, if you have any question, you can always contact Joe Barry, at the Go EDC, or contact Grad at 926-4433. Thank you very much.